Alright, let's fucking do this. Welcome to the GD level iceberg. This iceberg was made by me, and I put a ton of effort into, finding some fun facts. It's not every single GD level fact, but it's a lot of them. So, I guess, without further ado, let's get into this. A few notes before I start. This was made completely by me. All these facts were checked out by me. I did the research. So yeah. Let's just do this. Let's go. Tier 1. The surface. 9 circles levels. 9 circles levels are based off of a single level called, quote-unquote, 9 circles, made by Zobros. This level was revolutionary for its time and sparked a massive new creativity wave for thousands of creators. There are probably around 100 plus rated Demon 9 Circles levels right now. Another thing I'd like to clarify is 9 Circles levels have a few standards they have to go by to be considered them that have become less and less strict as they've gone on. Before, it had to specifically look 1.9, and then 2.0 came around, and Ultra levels were technically 9 Circles levels. And now levels like Auditory Breaker are barely considered 9 Circles levels, and levels like Cat Planet are. 9 Circles levels are very popular, and if you're in this community at all, you've probably played them at some point. Bloodbath. Bloodbath is a level made by verified by Riot and made by Riot, and a bunch of other creators such as Michigan and many others. This level was a top one that pushed the human limits for the time, and despite its edgy song and atmosphere, it's really aged well, and the decoration, even for 1.9, still looks good to this day. This is the type of level that most players who are starting to get good at the game go for at some point, to really put their foot down and say, hey, community, look at me, I beat Bloodbath. And that is a genuinely impressive thing to do, no matter the refresh rate. Bloodbath is very well known. Look up demons and you'll see it up there. It's a top 500 as of making this video, and yeah, it's just Bloodbath. The Nightmare. The Nightmare is a level made by, I believe, Jax, and basically the level's pretty fire. It's the easiest easy demon, which is why it's up at the surface. It's super free. It's nothing special. It's just a simple and fairly interesting level. There's nothing to really say about it. I beat it in one attempt the other day just because I was angry at the game. It's more like it should be a harder. There's literally no difficult timings. I don't know how this level's an easy demon, but it is really the starting point of most players' GD careers. When they start, they usually go for Nightmare. I know I did, to really see if I could do a demon at all. Main levels. Main levels consist of, I believe, to be 15 levels, made by the creator of the game, RobTop. Every single update, there is 1 or 2 new levels added. There are currently quite a few Insanes, 3 Demons, and a bunch of other difficulties as well. The main levels are okay looking and kind of just always show what the new update has to offer, the most recent level being Dash. The most popular main level is most likely to be Deadlocked or Stereo Madness, as I think everybody's at least. Ton 618. We've all heard it. Love it or hate it, it's on this list. Ton 618 is a mid-impossible level made by Poochie, I think his name is. Pooch or Poochie. And it's just a wave spam level. It's nothing special. It's bland as shit. I don't understand why people love it, but here we are. It's got okay deco, I guess. There's trying to be a remake, a top 1 remake that's actually humanly possible. But it's just a 2-player spam level, and that's about it. It's just kind of bland. It's nothing special. I Spy with My Little Eye. I Spy with My Little Eye is quote-unquote the peak of 2.1 GD, even though it's not. It's on this list because of how well known it is for some reason when there are levels that are much better than it. that are much more well optimized and just in general look better. I don't really understand why the appeal for I Spy is so high. I mean, the boss fight's pretty mediocre. It's an easy demon, I guess. It uses a funk-based song. It's an eyeball, and it's very flashy and hard to see. It's just not a good time, in my opinion. I don't enjoy the level, but it's very popular. It kind of sparked a redux on Geometry Dash on TikTok. It all started out with this level, and then people started to get into GD again. I know that's the first GD video I had seen in years, and I was like, wait, Geometry Dash exists again. And then I kind of got back into it, so I got to give the level credit for being that, because I remember that there have been levels years ago that were much better looking than this. So, yeah. I Spy by Voxacat. It's an okay level, I guess. I mean, everybody knows it. Tier 2. Shallow Waters. Sonic Wave and its remakes. Sonic Wave is a 9 circles level made by Cyclic. Very iconic and very fun. The song is really catchy, and the level has a cocky and really energetic atmosphere that most levels fail to replicate. Sonic Wave is very iconic, and just about everybody likes the level. I don't know who hates it. It's unbalanced, it's interesting, and it's not an edgy red level like most levels are. It has a lot of remakes, which is the point. People love it so much there are currently, I want to say, 4 remakes as of now, being Sonic Wave Unlimited, Sonic Wave Rebirth, Auditory Breaker, Generic Wave, and 5, and then there's Sonic Wave Infinity. Those are the 5 remakes as of now, but there are Sonic Wave Eternity and Shockwave coming up very soon, which will make 7 or more Sonic Wave remakes. The level's very well known, so it has a lot of remakes. Although Bloodbath is more iconic, it has not nearly as many. That's that point right there. The Plasma Pulse Trilogy. The Plasma Pulse Trilogy is a trilogy of insane and extreme demons, with the final Plasma Pulse being Plasma Pulse Finale. I want to make this point because Plasma Pulse Finale sparked a very toxic debate back in the community in early 2.1, when Bloodlust and that level had been verified. There was a massive debate over which one was harder, and there was so many fucking fights over it, it was terrible. A lot of threats, a lot of just toxicity going around in the community, which we don't see very often in this group. The GD community is usually pretty chill at 360 hertz. It's, it was a very toxic situation, just, It turns out that Plasma Pulse is about 10 spots below Bloodlust, Plasma Pulse Finale, so the Bloodlust people were right the whole time. Peaceful. Peaceful is the edgelord of Geometry Dash. Peaceful is well known for its edgy content. It's literally just an innocent level that turns into trypophobia. The problem is it's inaccessible as it's so badly optimized it lags and crashes your game. Basically, you have to speed hack it or have a NASA PC for it to even run. It's super bland and it's super edgy, but people are obsessed with it and still claim to this day that it's the scariest level of all time when it's in fact not. Demon Park. Demon Park is the first demon to ever be made and inspired the demon difficulty. As of now, it sits at easy demon difficulty, and it's not that hard. Just about anybody can beat it. But back in the old days, it really pushed the skill limit of what was said to be possible on this game, creating a completely new difficulty for levels that were this difficult. Death Corridor. Death Corridor is an impossible level made by Kodiak. This level's pretty mediocre, and it's kind of ugly, but it's got a very popular spam part, and there are people trying to verify it to this day. So it's something, alright. It's mediocre. But it's a 1.9 impossible level. That's kind of all there is to say about it. It's pretty bland. The Depths. Buff This. Buff This is the most controversial level ever made, in my opinion. Buff This was made by Boy of the Cones, and the level is literally just straight fly with some mediocre decoration. It's obviously made to be a joke, and it was also made to poke fun at Rob Top's flawed rating system, in which I heavily agree with, as the rating system is, in my opinion, horrendous. The level was also very hated because of its straight fly, and it somehow, by some miracle, got rated, and people have shit on it ever since. Even though levels like Conical Depression and Invisible Deadlocked are much, much worse, and this level took genuine effort. Low Death is also a good example. But that's basically it. It was a lot of complaining for a straight fly level. It's actually one of the hardest 60 hertz demons out there because it's straight fly is hard for 60 hertz, which is interesting. Maybe I'll go for it one day. Molten Gear. Molten Gear is based off of a mega collab, Fusion Z. Fusion Z was a cancelled extreme demon based off of the Fusion trilogy of Hard Demon, Insane Demon, and Extreme Demon, and a few others. So the Fusion trilogy was going to end off with Fusion Z, although Mannix, the creator of Fusion, and all of his members for the Mega Collab that was creating the level, he decided to cancel the project. And basically, he canceled it, it pissed everybody off, and Nobleboy was pissed, a lot of the creators were pissed, so Nobleboy took it into his own hands and renamed the level and added some different parts, got rid of certain parts, and then verified it. And now it's known as Molten Gear. Sakupin Hell taken down. Sakupin Hell was a 1.9 impossible level that was uploaded to the servers. The problem was it was permanently banned by RobTop for a while. Here's why. Cataclysm was rated and was considered the hardest level for a while, although it was hack verified, and RobTop still rated it and didn't care. The creator of Sakupin Hell thought he'd be a smartass and do the exact same thing and get recognition and rated. RobTop felt infuriated by this and got pissed and completely banned the level from the servers. Although it would get back up, obviously, because you can find it if you look it up on GD. People beat it all the time, but it's an interesting story to say the least. Conical Depression. I mentioned this level earlier, and I think it's on this list for a reason, as, at least in my opinion, it's the ugliest level ever made, but it's also very interesting for that exact reason. This level is basically made to be miserable. It is made to make you as miserable as possible, in the name, spiked depression basically. You become depressed playing this level is what it's designed to do. Between the bad decoration, the basic song, and nothing else happening besides terrible gameplay, it's unbalanced as hell, and people despise it. I think it's a great level for the fact that it's made to be unenjoyable, but it's nonetheless a very annoying level by Kramal, in typical Kramal fashion. Old Slaughterhouse. Old Slaughterhouse is a impossible level based off of, or the new Slaughterhouse is a top, I want to say 6 as of now, Extreme Demon made by Ice Cave. The original Slaughterhouse was impossible and made 1.9. It used the song Stalemate, and it was just a bland, edgy, impossible level, but it was redone and completely remade and turned into the Slaughterhouse we all know and love or hate today. Deep Below. Zero Kabi Origins. Zero Kabi is a strange 2.0 level, and from what I've heard, was heavily changed throughout the years. Zero Kabi, of course, is a insane demon made in 2.0, but apparently it was originally a completely different level, and it kept getting changed over and over again, until eventually it stayed as the odd, kind of off-putting decoration 2.0 level that it is today. It's still rated, and if you want to play it, go for it. It's an interesting level. It's unique. The Golden Origins. The Golden was originally a level created based off of another level, El Dorado. El Dorado was a level where you explored the jungle, basically, and found a golden temple. The Golden was supposed to be the sequel to that, but instead of there being a golden temple at the end, it's just jungle. The level's name should be called the green, not the golden, because there's not a single speck of gold in the entire level, and you don't even get to see the temple at the end. It's pretty mid, one of my least favorite top ones, and I just think it's an interesting story, though, that it comes from another level. Pretty obscure fact. Fake of Doom, 7 stars. Fake of Doom is an almost extreme demon memory level made all the way back in early 1.9. Fake of Doom was rated a 7 star at first, and was very hated for exactly that. Fake of Doom was also, very odd level. Very few could beat it. So it was kind of just like it's kind of like, how the fuck was this a 7 star, that kind of thing. Silent Circles Remake. Silent Circles is an impossible level made all the way back in early 2.0. It's spammy, iconic, and just about everybody knows at least some of it. At least the name. The interesting thing about Silent Circles is there was a remake of it that was supposed to be top 1. Although it was moved down to top 20, and then top 50. And the remake was just in general not very good at capturing the charm the original Impossible level had, unfortunately. Unlike other levels like Salient Grades and, what's another good example? Sonic Wave Rebirth, the remake of the level just genuinely did not catch the original vibe. It was much worse than the original, and it didn't work. It was not good, to say the least. The Midnight Zone. Sonic Wave was orange. Sonic Wave, the level mentioned earlier, was originally going to be orange. It was said on one of Cyclic's posts, the creator of the level, that the level was either going to be orange or a few other colors, but it ended up being tealish deep blue, I believe. It was an interesting color, and I wonder if Sonic Wave would be as iconic if it was orange instead of blue to this day. Battle of the Shades. Battle of the Shades shows a creator's descent into a insane-like state, where he at first created an insane demon, I believe, level. It was rated back in 2.0. People shit on it, per usual, and he, instead of ignoring them and saying, oh, well, I have a rated level, you losers don't, he took that to heart and kept changing it. He changed it, I believe, 6 times before it finally got unrated. Having text in the level going on rants about how he's sick of people not thinking his levels are good and stuff like that. It's kind of a sad story. It's interesting because the level was, originally really good, and it's sad that it's unrated now and completely different. Buff 9 Circles. 9 Circles, previously mentioned by Zobros, was originally planned to be buffed a few years back. Although, due to heavy backlash in the community, it was completely cancelled, as there were many people doing the level at that time who didn't want the level to be buffed, so they had to drop it. It's interesting because I don't understand why Zobros would want to do that, and what the whole idea of buffing the level would do. Buffing one of your most iconic levels for no reason is kind of stupid, and I'm glad he didn't follow through with that. Anaban Bloodbath. Anaban was an iconic hacker, and he did a lot of stuff to the game, but one of his most interesting things, in my opinion, was when he put a start POS at the end of Bloodbath. He then went on a tangent about how people need to be better and whatnot, and to follow your dreams and something else, and then he said anybody else was not him. Basically, there was a start POS to the end of Bloodbath, where he acted all tough and then dropped from the community completely. It was an interesting culmination of him terrorizing the community and scaring everybody, to spam hacking levels and hosting them, destroying the servers, to him finally letting it go and leaving permanently. The Abyss. The Big Black. The Big Black is a relatively unheard of hard demon, but it was originally an impossible level back in 1.9. As interesting as this story sounds, I have no more information on the level than that, and that's why it's so low, because I can't find much on it. It's an interesting level, to say the least, and it's got a good song. It's an easy hard demon nowadays to today's standards, and I don't know if it was nerfed or if it's always been that way, or whatever, but here it is. The level's odd, to say the least, and it's cool though. I mess with it. I mess with it a lot. It's a great level. I wish I knew more about it, but that's why it's so low, because I have no clue what else is about this level. I know it was informal and impossible, but there's nothing else I can say about it. Limbo lore. Limbo is an iconic level created by Minecap, and is the hardest memory demon to date. Limbo, well known for its decoration and key ending, is fairly cool, along with its really good sync with its song. Limbo originally had lore, but it's deleted and completely wiped off the internet. Very few archives of some of the Twitter posts about the lore are still around. Although I don't know if I have any pictures, I'll do a summary of it, and if I have a picture I will show it off on screen. Minecap claimed that you were a scientist and you were trapped in a machine in a loop, and you had to go through the whole loop to survive, and then eventually get to the keys ready to find the right key to turn off the machine and a bunch of other things. And basically, if you died, you go back, but you were the cube because the machine turned you, something like that. It was weird, but I think it's interesting that it's completely wiped off the internet, meaning that nobody's ever going to see it. And, yeah, it's just kind of gone, nobody really knows what the fuck it is about, so, whatever. Cornea. This level is a creepypasta. I'm just gonna put it on screen for y'all to read. Have fun.